Let's start with the truth. Women rarely make the first move. But that doesn't mean we don't want to be approached. In fact, sometimes when a woman is staring at her phone, fixing her hair, or acting busy, she's actually hoping a man will notice her. She's just not going to come out and say it. And that's where so many good men miss the signal. Because here's the controversial part. Women are constantly giving signs, but most men are either too nervous, too distracted, or too afraid of rejection to notice them. And when you don't pick up on those signals, the opportunity disappears. You might think she's not interested, when really she's giving you every green light in the book. Women communicate interest through subtle body language. We rarely say, "Hey, I like you, come talk to me," because that would make us feel too exposed. Instead, we use looks, posture, and energy. Little cues that say, "I'm open, I'm curious, I'm noticing you, but if you don't know what to look for, you'll misread it every time." So, in this video, I'm going to break it all down for you, from a woman's perspective. The small shifts in body language that most men overlook, but that every woman knows she's doing on purpose. By the end, you'll know how to spot when a woman wants you to approach her, and more importantly, how to do it in a way that makes her feel intrigued and comfortable, not pressured or creeped out. Let's talk about what women are really saying when they don't say anything at all. 1. Her eyes. Hold the first invitation. Let's be honest. Most men underestimate how powerful a woman's eyes are when she's interested. You think she's just glancing around or being polite, but if a woman is giving you consistent eye contact and holding it for a second too long, she's silently inviting you to come closer. That small moment of extended eye contact is her saying, "I noticed you, and I don't mind if you notice me too." When a woman finds a man attractive, her gaze softens. She doesn't just look at you, she looks into you. You'll feel it. There's a difference between a casual glance and a gaze that lingers. If she looks at you, then quickly looks away with a small smile, that's not shyness, it's subtle curiosity. And if she does it more than once, that's deliberate. Women are highly aware of their surroundings, and we don't make repeated eye contact by accident. Now, if she looks at you, then pretends to look away but keeps peeking from the corner of her eye, that's her testing to see if you'll make the move. Women often do this because we don't want to seem too forward, but we still want to be seen. Our eyes do the talking first, long before our words ever do. There's also the searching glance. When a woman looks around a room, spots you, then holds her gaze for a brief second before pretending she wasn't. That's not random. That's interest with caution. She's trying to see if you're confident enough to catch the signal and act on it. If you're unsure, here's what you do. Hold her gaze just long enough to let her feel your confidence. Then give a calm, small smile and look away. Don't overdo it. Don't stare. The key is balance. Too much eye contact feels aggressive. Too little makes you seem uninterested. Women love when a man can pick up on that silent exchange, when he reads the atmosphere, not just the obvious signs. The eyes are our way of testing your awareness. Because a woman who keeps locking eyes with you isn't doing it for no reason. She's opening a door, quietly saying, "If you want to approach me, now's your chance." So if you catch her looking, don't overthink it. Just remember, when her eyes linger, she's not just looking, she's inviting. 2. Her body turns toward you, even when she doesn't speak. Body orientation says more than words ever will. When a woman wants you to approach, her body naturally opens toward you, shoulders slightly turned, chest facing your direction, and feet subtly angled your way. These cues happen unconsciously, but they're powerful indicators of interest. Most men miss this completely because they focus only on whether a woman smiles or talks. But in reality, the decision happens before the first word. When a woman's body faces you, she's signaling comfort, openness, and curiosity. If she's sitting, She might uncross her arms or shift her posture toward you. If she's standing, you'll notice her torso align with yours, not away. It's not a dramatic move. It's subtle, but intentional. You can also pay attention to how long she stays in your proximity. If she keeps finding ways to remain near you, even without conversation, that's another body language cue. She might fix her hair, adjust her clothes, or slightly sway her hips while standing. All those gestures are subconscious ways of drawing your attention. Women know their presence has an effect, and when we're around a man we like, we want to be seen. We'll angle our bodies to make that easier for you. Here's something most men never realize. Even if a woman is talking to someone else, if her feet are still pointed toward you, her attention isn't fully where she seems. Our feet tell the truth, even when our faces don't. So, if you're unsure whether to approach, notice the direction her body is leaning. It's usually a clearer signal than her words. When a woman turns her body toward you, it's not just physical alignment. It's psychological permission. She's silently saying, "You have my attention. Now show me if you're confident enough to take it." 3. Subtle smiles. That means she's testing you. When it comes to attraction, a woman's smile can mean 100 different things, and if you don't know how to read it, you'll miss your chance. See, most men think a woman smiling at them is just politeness. But trust me, when a woman is attracted, her smile changes. It's softer, slower, and it lingers just a little too long to be casual. There's a certain kind of smile women use when they're testing the water. Not a big, obvious grin, but a small, teasing curve that fades when you look away. It's the kind that says, "I see you. Now let's see if you're confident enough to do something about it." That's what I mean when I say women test through subtlety. We don't need to say a word. Our energy does the talking. A woman who wants you to approach isn't going to stand there looking serious or distant. She'll use micro-expressions, small shifts in her mouth, her eyes softening for a second, maybe a playful lip bite when she's holding your gaze. That's her way of signaling comfort, curiosity, and a hint of vulnerability, a mix that draws men in. But here's the catch. We also want to see if you're calm enough to hold your ground. If she smiles and you instantly get flustered or rush toward her, you've failed the test. Women are drawn to men who can handle that silent tension without breaking. That's what makes the smile a test. It's not just an invitation, it's a filter. So when a woman smiles at you, hold your eye contact for a brief moment. Let your lips curve into a small, natural smile, then look away first. That balance, confident but controlled, tells her you see her, but you're not desperate for her attention. And trust me, that difference is everything. A real smile of interest isn't random. It happens when she's already noticed you, and now she's trying to create a small moment of connection. It might happen across the room, in passing, or during short eye contact, but it's always intentional. And if she smiles, after you've caught her looking, that's your confirmation. She's signaling safety, that she's open to your energy, that she's comfortable with your presence. So stop overthinking what to say. Learn to read the moment. When a woman gives you that slow, knowing smile, not the polite one, but the kind that feels almost private, that's not coincidence. That's her saying, "I'm interested. Now, are you confident enough to approach me?" 4. When she uses her hair and hands to draw you. In Let's Be Honest, a woman's body language can say things she'll never say out loud. And one of the clearest ways she shows attraction is through how she uses her hair and hands. These movements might seem random to you, but they're rarely accidental. They're instinctive. When a woman wants you to notice her, her body starts speaking for her, especially through small, repetitive gestures that draw your attention to her femininity. Think about it. When she plays with her hair, tucks it behind her ear, or lets it fall over her shoulder, She's not just fixing it. That motion brings focus to her neck, her face, and her lips, 3 areas that subconsciously communicate softness, attraction, and vulnerability. It's not always deliberate flirting. Sometimes it's her body reacting to nervous excitement or curiosity. But either way, it's a sign she's tuned in to your presence. Now, pay attention to her hands too. A woman who's attracted might touch her neck lightly while she's looking at you, brush her fingers along her collarbone, or play with her jewelry, rings, bracelets, the rim of her glass. These movements are subtle ways of releasing tension, but they're also highly visual. She's drawing attention to her body without even realizing it. When she's comfortable, her gestures become slower and more fluid. But if she's unsure or testing you, they'll be more nervous. Quick hair flips, adjusting her clothes, tapping her fingers. The key is in the energy behind the movement. If she's making herself appear more open, showing her wrists, exposing her neck, or keeping her hands visible instead of crossed, she's signaling trust and openness. And here's something most men don't realize. Women rarely touch their hair or skin around men they're not interested in. It's not because we can't. It's because we simply don't feel the need to. Attraction heightens self-awareness. When we like someone, we become conscious of how we look, how we move, how our energy feels around them. Those small gestures are our body's way of saying, I want to feel beautiful in front of you. So when you see a woman playing with her hair, adjusting her necklace, or softly tracing her fingers along her arm while maintaining eye contact, don't ignore it. That's a green light wrapped in feminine subtlety. But remember, this doesn't mean every hair flip equals attraction. Context matters. Is she looking at you when she does it? Does her energy shift when you walk by? If she's engaging you with her body language, not just existing in the same space, that's your sign. A woman's hands and hair tell you what her words never will. They whisper interest long before she says hello. The question is, are you confident enough to notice? 5. How her movement around you reveals everything. A woman's movement tells you more about her attraction than her words ever will. Most men focus on what she says, but the real truth lies in how she moves when you're around. If she's interested, her body naturally reacts to your presence. She might not even realize it, but her energy starts shifting toward you. And if you're paying attention, you'll see it clear as day. Picture this. You walk into a room, and there's a woman who subtly repositions herself within your line of sight. Maybe she was sitting at one end of the bar, but now she's closer. Maybe she was talking to her friends, but suddenly she's facing your direction. Her body angled toward you, her attention subtly drifting your way. That's not random. That's instinct. When a woman is attracted, she'll create proximity, but she'll make it look like coincidence. She might walk past you slowly, brush near your arm, or stand close enough that you can feel her presence. She's testing the space between you, trying to see if you'll pick up on her energy or stay oblivious. That's how women approach without approaching. Another big tell is how her posture shifts. Around a man she likes, she'll naturally straighten her back, tilt her chin slightly down, or lean in when you speak. It's her way of appearing more feminine, more present. Even her steps become more intentional, smoother, slower, a bit more graceful. Attraction makes women want to be seen, and that awareness comes through every subtle movement. But here's the tricky part. Women also use motion to protect themselves. If she's interested but unsure, she might stay physically near you while avoiding direct eye contact, almost like she's letting her energy speak before her words do. That's her way of saying, I feel something, but I need to know it's safe to show it. And men often misread this. They think she's ignoring them or not interested, when in reality, she's observing. She's waiting to see if you'll carry yourself with calm confidence, or if you'll act like every other guy who rushes in the second he senses attention. The more you stay centered and grounded, the more her movements start to draw toward you. 6. The power of stillness. When she stops moving, pay attention sometimes. The loudest sign that a woman wants you to approach her is silence. Stillness. And most men miss it completely. See, we've been taught to look for movement, the smile, the hair flip, the lingering glances. But what if I told you that sometimes the real signal happens when a woman suddenly becomes still around you? When she stops what she's doing, almost as if her energy freezes for a second. That's when something's happening internally. Let me explain how this works. When a woman feels attraction, her body naturally becomes more aware of her surroundings, especially when the man she's drawn to enters her space. That awareness can make her pause mid-motion, her posture straighten slightly, her breathing shift. She might suddenly stop talking, stop typing, stop fidgeting, not because she's bored, but because she feels your presence. It's instinctual. That pause is her body's way of saying, something just changed. It's subtle, but it's powerful. Women often experience a rush of awareness when the man they're drawn to is nearby. And that moment of stillness, it's her way of grounding herself, processing the attraction, and silently waiting to see what you'll do. When a woman likes you, she doesn't want to ruin that moment by acting too eager. She won't chase or make it too obvious. Instead, she lets you feel her presence. She becomes more deliberate. Her eyes might wander your way, her voice might drop a little lower, or her body stays perfectly still, almost frozen in curiosity and anticipation. But here's what separates confident men from everyone else. They notice the pause. They don't mistake it for disinterest. They recognize that subtle tension, that energy shift, as the green light it is. They hold eye contact for a second, give a calm, grounded smile, and then take that step forward. The truth is, women often communicate interest by not moving away. She could have shifted, turned her back, walked off, but she didn't. She stayed. That stillness means she's allowing the moment to happen, giving you space to lead. You have to understand something crucial. Stillness in a woman isn't always about shyness. It's about invitation through restraint. It's her feminine energy meeting your masculine energy halfway, quietly asking, "Will you notice?" So the next time a woman goes still when you're near, don't overthink it. That pause might be your moment. She's not frozen because she's uninterested. She's frozen because she's feeling something. And if you respond with calm, confident energy, not rushing, not performing, you'll find that the stillness breaks with a smile, a glance, or a soft laugh that says, "You passed the test." Stillness is attraction in disguise. Most men miss it. The ones who don't. They're the ones women can't stop thinking about afterward. 7. The mistake most men make when she gives the signal. Let's talk about where most men ruin the moment, the second she gives the signal. Because here's the truth. Women rarely make their interest obvious. We send clues, we test, we give you subtle chances to lead. And when we do, what you do next determines whether attraction builds or dies instantly. Most men fail this moment for one of two reasons. Either they don't act at all because they're overthinking, or they overreact and rush in like they've already won. Both kill the tension that attraction depends on. When a woman gives you the signal, whether it's that lingering glance, that small smile, or that pause in her movement, what she's really doing is handing you control. She's saying, "I'm open. Now show me you're grounded enough to handle it." That's your cue to step up with calm confidence, not jump into performance mode. See, The mistake many men make is assuming that because she's interested, she wants immediate pursuit. But that's not how feminine attraction works. Interest doesn't mean she wants a man to pounce. It means she wants to feel drawn in. She wants to feel that slow, steady pull, not an explosion of desperation. When a man gets too excited and rushes in, it tells her something deeper, that her attention was the prize, not she herself. That instantly breaks the emotional connection. Because to a woman, confidence isn't just about how you walk or talk. It's about whether you can stay composed when the energy gets real. Here's the kind of man women remember, the one who sees her signal, responds with quiet certainty, and approaches in a way that feels intentional, not reactive. He doesn't hover, he doesn't stutter, he doesn't ask, "Hey, were you just looking at me?" He just walks up with relaxed energy, starts a natural conversation, and lets his calm presence do the talking. And here's the twist. If you ignore the signal completely, she'll likely assume you're either not interested or not confident enough to approach. That's when she'll shut down, retreat, and you'll never get another chance. Because to a woman, rejection by inaction feels the same as rejection by words. So when she gives you that subtle invitation, her eyes, her body language, her stillness, meet it halfway. Don't overplay it. Don't underplay it. Just lead it. She wants to feel your composure more than your charm. She wants to see that you can stay grounded in tension, that you're not thrown off by her beauty or her signals. That's what actually makes her respect you, trust you, and keep thinking about you long after that moment ends.